It's the Sketchworks NewsBrake Farewell to 2020, starring head writer John Babcock, complete waste of time Tim Millard, special guest Renee Reels, and live from her underground bunker, recording artist Allie O'Neill. I'm whoever we could get to do a voiceover. Now, here's your host, Brian Troxell.
It's December 29th, 2020, which means there are only 2 days left in this garbage year. And this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxell, and welcome to the very last episode of NewsBrake for 2020. Got excited for a moment there, didn't you? Sorry about that. During our 1-week hiatus, we were renewed for another season. Hooray! Renewed by ourselves. Anyway, welcome to our farewell to 2020 special report. We'll take a look back at everyone's least favorite year, but first, let's take a look back at the last week. After months of negotiations, the EU and Britain announced they have finally reached a Brexit pact. Because like all divorces, negotiations take time, as agreements need to be made about splitting finances, property, and who gets custody of the children. President Donald Trump has pardoned around 24 people in the final weeks of his presidency. Most of them are members of his inner circle, such as Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, and Michael Flynn. President Trump plans to issue more pardons before he leaves office. We've learned those being considered include the Hamburglar, Thanos, and the Lotso Bear from Toy Story 3. Saturday, the New York Post reported a geriatric oncologist at Boston Medical Center in Boston suffered a severe allergic reaction after being inoculated with Moderna's coronavirus vaccine. The oncologist said his reaction was very similar to what he once experienced after eating shellfish. When asked what he had for lunch before getting the shot, the doctor said, "Shellfish." Oh, that was probably it then. That's my oncologist impression. Reports from COVID vaccine recipients show that the shot causes significant side effects for people with Botox injections. These people are furious, which is made pretty obvious from their facial expressions. In Jacksonville, a mother and daughter who worked at the same preschool coincidentally died of COVID-19. Or at least, that's the story the toddlers are sticking to. In Nepal, a passenger airline landed at an airport some 250 miles from their intended destination. Within minutes of this mistake being made public, Spirit Airlines released a statement saying they were not involved. For once. Your Christmas gifts may still be waiting for delivery. The U.S. Postal Service, UPS, FedEx, and Amazon are backlogged due to a surge in package deliveries. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard just got a package today that was way beyond late.
This was supposed to be delivered 2 weeks ago, and it's for Allie O'Neill. Probably something good in it.
Thank you, Tim. Archaeologists found a fast food stand in the ruins of Pompeii, and it is remarkably well preserved. They even found old bowls and bottles, traces of food, and a sign that says you must wear a mask before you enter. A Minnesota town council recently approved a permit allowing a whites-only group to hold meetings at a local church. Though, just to clarify, it's not that other ethnicities can't join, it's just that they're really into craft beer. Topping the box office over the weekend was the much-anticipated Wonder Woman 1984. I can't believe they've made close to 2,000 of these movies. The first 1,000 sequels of the movie were terrible. Anyway, the movie's opening weekend take at the box office was something out of 1984. raking in $16.7 million. A record-breaking opening weekend, the likes of which we haven't seen since the 1986 film Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home. 2020, the year we went backwards. Star Trek IV was directed by Leonard Nimoy and earned 4 Academy Award nominations. Star Trek V: The Final Frontier was directed by William Shatner and was described by film critic Roger Ebert as, quote, a mess, unquote. I know that's a lot of movie talk, but I'm auditioning to be a host for TCM. People in San Francisco are wondering who's behind the 7-foot-tall gingerbread monolith that showed up at a city park on Christmas Day. It did fall apart one day later, but what's amazing is someone actually found an affordable place to build something in San Francisco. In England, it was reported 19 World War II-era grenades were pulled out of the River Tame by a magnet fisherman. What's a magnet fisherman, you may ask? Someone who's not really a fisherman. Fisherman implies a person who catches fish, and you can't catch fish using a magnet as bait. This guy is just an underwater junk collector. Despite the worldwide pandemic, the world of fashion continued strutting down the runway in 2020. Here with a look back at the hottest fashion trends of the year is Renee Rails.
Hi, I'm Renee Rails and welcome to Hollywood, California. Today we've got our quarantine fashion line brought to you by COVID-19. Our first outfit coming up is, I'm going to take advantage of this quarantine time. I'm going to get so much done. Better yet, I can wear my pajamas all day and get all this done. Hello, onesie. I'm going to work out. Damn it, I'm at least wearing the clothes. You know what? If you can't accept me for who I am, you are stuck with me for who knows how long anyway. These cookies are good. Well, this may be what it comes to. I guess I'll work it.
Thank you, Renee. It was a white Christmas for many across the U.S. this year. I'm talking about snow. Unfortunately for kids in certain parts of Iowa, Illinois, and Indiana, snow doesn't mean a fun day outside sledding. The cities of Dubuque, Iowa, and Evanston, Illinois have banned sledding and can impose a $750 fine to sledding violators. From New York City, a giddy Mayor Bill de Blasio said, "Ooh, I didn't know we could ban sledding. I want to do that." De Blasio is, of course, America's worst mayor. Staying in the Empire State, before Christmas, Lindsey Boylan, a former aide to America's worst governor, Andrew Cuomo, accused him of sexually harassing her for years. Cuomo calls Boylan's claims baseless, and he is confident there will be no repercussions from his sexual harassment actions because he is a Democrat. Hey, remember the Me Too movement? Whatever happened with that? An Alabama man was arrested last week for making illegal wine out of a sewage plant, which sounds bad, but when compared to expensive wine, I'm sure you still can't taste the difference. Instagram influencer Hilaria Baldwin, the self-identified Spanish wife of professional asshole Alec Baldwin.
We have very few ingredients. We have tomatoes. We have cucumbers. We have red pepper.
Was outed this week as a basic white woman from Massachusetts. Real name, Hillary Hayward Thomas. It turns out the only thing Spanish about her is that her parents moved to Majorca after they retired. If we can't count on Instagram influencers being honest and truthful about their past, my God, what can we count on? The Red Cross buried over 200 bodies after a violent massacre occurred in Ethiopia last week. But things are just as grim here in the U.S., as all of America is grieving over The Office being pulled from Netflix. An off-duty emergency worker in Thailand used CPR to resuscitate a baby elephant who was struck by a motorcycle. The revived baby elephant forgave the person who hit him, but he's never going to forget. Full House actor Lori Loughlin is a free woman once again. She finished her 2-month prison sentence for paying bribes to get her daughters into college. Loughlin says she's happy to be out, But just don't ask her why she has a teardrop tattoo. No year-end special would be complete without an in memoriam montage. So here's a look back on all of those we lost this year.
I will remember y'all. Will y'all remember too? The song is just different enough so that maybe we won't get sued again. Hashtag free vape this year was unpredictable. So many people died. Be glad that you got out with your life.
And that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. And thankfully, that's all for 2020. We'll be back in 2021, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxell, and I'm going to go watch the ball drop on your mom.
Whoever suggested to Coach Belichick to want to challenge that got an earful.